The book we need to talk about, Kevin, and its 2011 movie adaptation, directed by Lynne Ramsay, I hope I pronounced it right, have several key differences in terms of narrative structure, focus, and character development. However, the disturbing aspect is kept in perfect balance in both of those works, in my not so humble opinion, and it is time that we compare them. There will be spoilers. Proceed with caution. Welcome. This is Check That Book, a special and safe place where we get acquainted with the most disturbing books ever written. And today's special episode, again, I'm trying my best to compare the two, book and movie, book versus movie. We need to talk about Kevin. Like I said, this disturbing book is unique. First of all, if you want to know more about it, then I already made an introduction to it. I will put the link into the description down below. Make sure to watch that before proceeding with this video. I'll try to make it as argumentative as I can and just plain comparisons. Starting from the very first thing um, that pops out. The book is written in an epistolary format, composed of letters from our main character, Eva, to her husband, Franklin. Uh, and the readers get access to her, well, first-hand thoughts and emotions and all of that. I like epistolary format. It's always a bit, it feels a bit more intimate, as if the author of the book is not even there, you know. The movie, well, it definitely doesn't use that, but the movie is very fragmented and definitely not linear. It's the way the timelines jump back and forth actually is kind of cool, and I enjoyed that. It might be complicated for a first time viewer, but I loved the fact that it wasn't so spoon fed in the movie. It was a thing of its own. It's I found it fitting. On the other hand, who knows? Maybe they could have played it out so that we could um, read Eva's mind and her thoughts, so to speak. Who knows? But we have what we have, so that's the biggest difference that you can spot immediately, that the genre in itself, the way the storytelling goes on, differs quite a bit. Speaking of Eva, our main character in the book, she's rather um, um, we get acquainted with her thoughts first and foremost. So she's portrayed as highly introspective and a rather articulate woman, I would say, who constantly battles with her feelings towards Kevin and reflects on them, second guessing herself, even doubting herself. Uh, the novel deals with complex emotions, and Eva is obviously, how to put it, she has a depth to her, you know. But in the movie, like I said, I think I said it in the last video about this subject, that in the movie we tend to get less of a character exploration like that. I think I said it about Alex Delage from the Clockwork Orange. But let's try to see again what we have here and think less of, because it happens all the time. It happens all the time that you cannot possibly convey every single emotion and every single detail written in the book onto the screen. And even if you do attempt to do so, it might greatly differ from what a viewer who has read the book will expect, or even what the author had in mind, you know? So let's set that aside for a second and focus on Tilda Swinton's performance, because I love her performance. I mean, I always love her performances regardless. I am no cinema critic, but her portrayal of Eva, it's subtle, with a focus on Eva's emotional isolation, and even if we get less access to her thoughts, she's still Eva in the movies, more enigmatic in that sense. And I believe that, again, if you read the book and then you watch this film, you will understand Eva. She will be a bit different to you, but you will understand her because Swinton's non-verbal performance does the magic to her character, I think. Let's address the elephant in the room. Or shall I say, let's address the Kevin in the room because, well, the fuss is all about him. And in the book, as I would put it, Kevin's behavior is, again, explored in more depth, but we're going to try and put that aside for now because that happens in almost any book adaptation. The depth is kind of lost. Um, in the book, there's more details and detailed accounts on his of his manipulative actions and incidents, but what I was left with as a reader, that Kevin gradually but surely became what he is. And it was shown kind of like a build up, it doesn't just come out of the blue like it does in the movie. We have three versions of Kevin, so they still stick to the gradual development of something being wrong. I'm trying my best not to spoil too much because this is a really good film. It's honestly, there's nothing much to discuss besides the fact that the performances were very well done in synchronicity with the book, albeit the way the story is told differs greatly. I hope I made sense. The disturbing factor, of course, what we are here for mainly. Um, as much as the film is more ambiguous with less dialogue and more reliance on mood and atmosphere, I think, honestly, to me, they go hand in hand with the book, which is why, again, I will say it, very well crafted adaptation of a very well crafted book. There is not much to say here, but I keep on yapping about it because this is such an interesting and deserving piece of work that I think needs more credit than it had. Whilst the book's tone is cerebral, reflective, deeply retrospective, and Eva dominates there, her narrative the narrative unfolds with a sense of inevitability, and Eva knows it. In the movie, the tone is darker and it's more horror like, obviously, with a haunting, almost dreamlike quality to it. Of course, the movie does what a book could possibly not. It relies heavily on sounds and colors and even symbols to enhance this sense of unease. But again, without going into the obvious differences, what I mentioned is what I mentioned. In conclusion, there aren't many differences at all. If we leave the uh, the terms and conditions under which both works are made, obviously one is a book and can never do what a movie can, and the other way around. If we put that aside for a second, then this is a very well done interpretation, in my not so humble opinion. Usually, when we think of school shooters and, you know, any other sort of juvenile crime, we rarely focus on the parents, and even more rarely, we focus on the idea that what if there is nothing wrong with the family or the parents, that they didn't contribute to such behavior, right? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And Eva is an interesting case that actually to me at least, as a reader and as a viewer, leaves the question open. Albeit Eva never encourages her son to be violent. There's nothing of the sort. On the contrary, she tries to connect with him and be as supportive as possible. Kevin has a decent family, a good household. What is wrong? Or maybe the family is not that decent on a different kind of level. Again, deep psychology, deeper backstories, disturbing aspects, disturbing family dynamics. Isn't that always fun? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I enjoyed making it. I hope this will turn into interesting series. So consider, please, giving this video a boost in the form of an erect thumb, and make sure to subscribe. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.